Hey guys, Dov here, and today I'm back with another underrated unit for Total War Warhammer 2 multiplayer. And today we're coming at you with a unit that I have decried many times in this game as one of the worst units in the game, but still offers quite a bit of upside. Forsaken, fallen quite a ways back in Game 1 when, melee defense and didn't matter so much, it was more armor and weapon strength. These guys were great because they do have a lot of weapon strength and decent armor. Only 60 models though, and pretty low HP for a unit of this class. They also, of course, have low melee defense, as mentioned. Decent charge bonus though at 39. Definitely consider them sort of a shock infantry in here. Got two of them versus the Vampire Coast, one regular, and the Demon Spew, who of course have the Cloud of Flies and Poison to give themselves a little bit more utility. In addition, we've also got 3 Chaos Spawn, which is an interesting choice for the Warriors of Chaos. You see that a lot more frequently for the Beastmen, but these guys have a little bit more weapon strength and no poison damage. And obviously, they do suffer forest penalties, unlike the Beast spawns. We've got some Hounds, some Marauders, some Chaos Warriors, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Horsemen and such. For the Vampire Pirates, we've got Deckhands, Bombers in the second line, Lamprey's Revenge, along with some Halberds, Cannons, and some deck gunners, as well as Black Spot. Got Vampire Captain here, some gun bats, dreaded deck droppers with handguns, currently eating all of javelins here. Great counter skirmish, and we've also got Harkon up in the air leading the way. Basically a giant gun bat. But yeah, so far Chaos has gotten in line. The cannons have done quite a bit of damage to these Chaos Spawn in the center, but they're unbreakable. They don't really care too much. They're going to get in and absolutely just mess things up. Speaking of which, Demon Spew over on the side already got 23 kills on these zombies, and yeah, they will trade very well with Lamprey's Revenge, with these Marauders on top of them, of course, adding a bit of extra hit points and bodies to soak some damage. Archaon's also in here. Oh man, the bomb's getting tossed in. Very wild thematic fight there. The Spawn are taking some heat, but what that means is that heat's not being taken by the Forsaken, right? The Hound's also coming in for disruption and then running back out. The Spawn, what they've done is punch through into the back line and just cause a whole bunch of disruption, right? All of these, the zombies are having to reposition, kind of turn and fire at the Spawn, and the Spawn are just relentlessly pushing through, disrupting those missile units. So that in and of itself can be cost effective, even if the Spawn didn't really pay for themselves in terms of damage, but they actually did a lot of damage to like handguns and other units, so maybe they did actually pay for themselves. But what that means is, again, that these Forsaken are able to get in here. Look at this Forsaken, basically untouched, able to get in and start chewing on these zombies. Speaking of chewing, here come the Poison Hounds, and this is an excellent pick for them, getting directly on those deck droppers, the deck gunners. Deck gunners have very little HP, as the Hounds will tear them apart very quickly. Harkon drops down to provide some terror. He'll be able to rout them off pretty quickly. He's also been having to use his healing to heal up these gun bats. What that means is the rest of his line's crumbling pretty badly here. You can see the Demon Spew did end up taking quite a bit of damage in that engagement over the long term with the Lamprey's Revenge and the Bombers and everything, but even with only 28 unit models still alive, I mean, they have decent enough leadership, and especially once that Frenzy, if it's able to get active again, it's probably not super likely at this point, but regardless, I mean, 58 weapon strength still, even though there's only 28 models, they can still do a lot of damage. Given that engagement over here, this Forsaken's doing much better. Even a handful of Spawn and some Hounds over here have chewed through this pocket entirely. So yeah, it's just going to be a matter of trying to grind through all of this vampire stuff before the attrition takes its toll. And right now, things are not looking great in terms of balance of power. We've got several summoned pistol zombies just wailing away here. There's a lot of light targets for them, but very nicely done with these Poison Hounds getting on the Black Spot. Of course, they have bayonets. Those only really count against large targets. If we have a look here, they do have a bonus versus large, but obviously Hounds count as infantry, so actually a really nice counter there. Again, just the disruption very key. You can see a handful of Forsaken along with those Chaos Marauders able to get up to 108 kills despite how damaged they are. Yeah, Forsaken do have immune to psychology baseline as well. It is one thing to note. If you look at their unit card, you can tell because the Frenzy is not currently active and they still have that immune to psychology. At least they did there for a moment. Frenzy actually reactivates here just in time for them to get a charge into these zombies, helping that charge bonus out. Let's get in close. Forsaken certainly look awesome. Probably one of the coolest looking units on the Chaos roster. Oof. Got the old Oblivion mace, like, forged into his hand. Just going absolutely ham. They're super fast, too, which is one of their other redeeming qualities. They have very, very high speed, especially once their charge speed is active, but 46 speed for infantry is absolutely ridiculous. Archaon pushing through, getting on this fleet captain here. He himself has taken a lot of damage from the snipe attempts from both the gunbats and from Archon. As it stands right now, though, besides Harkon, things are actually looking pretty thin on the ground. I mean, the gunbats have used up most of their ammunition. There's no gunnery wight to give them more ammo. And also, Lamprey's Revenge starting to get thinned out here. There are still some deck gunners online. Looks like they're probably trying to snipe Archaon here. Archon likewise trying to do the same. But Archaon, and saying Harkon and Archaon in the same sentence is too hard. He's going to cut and run here and kind of dodge around. One thing as well, since the Demon Spew, looks like they actually rout here, unfortunately, but with their poison, if they were to get poison on Harkon, they're probably fast enough that they could keep him pinned on the ground, potentially, especially with, like, the Marauder Horsemen and so on supporting, but Archaon does a bit of a drive-by on the captain here, trying to get an attack animation in if he can. It's kind of like Mountain Blade when you're, doing the tournaments. All you've got is a lance, and you're trying to get into lance speed, and yet that guy's athletics is just fast enough where he's chasing you, and you can't really turn anyway. Forsaken will do the job, though. I mean, again, that 65 weapon strength with Frenzy active, only 30 armor on the fleet captain when not on a crab. Definitely one of the reasons why you want to take the crab. But one more breath attack finishes off something there. Probably the Lamprey's Revenge, actually. But at this point, even with just Harkon alive, you can see how much he counts for on the balance of power. If he were to actually snipe Archaon here, the Warriors of Chaos could run into some terror route issues, but of course, the Forsaken are immune to psychology and very fast. We're going to get in here with Flaming Sword of Ruin active, a few of them mixing it in with the Chaos Warriors. I like the mix of the Chaos Warriors and Forsaken, right? The Chaos Warriors, they're pretty slow. They're much more defensive. They're kind of interesting mirrors of each other, right? The Chaos Warriors, slower, much more defensive, a lot more HP, armor, melee defense, models, just everything, right? And still great weapon strength, attack, all things considered. Maybe not great attack, but decent attack, good weapon strength, just kind of all-around solid units, right? It's Chaos Warriors. Especially with standard die active up to 68 melee defense, but Forsaken, on the other hand, much more offensively focused. They are absolutely a glass cannon unit, one of the most glass cannon units in the game, but there are a handful of matchups where you can get good value from them, certainly, where you know they're not going to eat a charge directly. This is definitely... Vampire Coast are not a faction that's known for their charge damage, right? And so they're potentially also against the Skaven, likewise. You can use them to good effect there. Anything where you need to clean a lot of chaff, they're not going to get charged in the face. So Skaven and Vampire Coast would definitely be the two sort of immediately spring to mind there. They can be used in other matchups as well, like Empire, Bretonia, to clean up some of the lower tier infantry, even Beastmen, although you have to be careful not to get hit in the face by Knights or Centaurs or something like that. Obviously, no missile block chance as well, and low armor, not low armor, I guess, low HP. Decent armor, but still no missile block chance means they do take a lot of damage, even from lower tier skirmishers. So, yeah, if you think they're going to get shot up or charged, maybe not the best idea, but outside of those two situations, and we can see here, even with just a couple of them, if you can protect them from getting shot up in those shooty matchups, they can get some work done for you. Archaon moves in for the kill against Harkon here. He is going to go ahead and hit that disintegration. And it's a victory for the Warriors of Chaos, so big thanks to Tex for sending that one in. And yeah, very interesting build. I know some people, especially in this matchup, absolutely despise gunbats, and I mean, they are very powerful here, but I don't think they completely break this matchup by any means. And we saw here that Tex was able to overwhelm the infantry ground force before the gunbats could completely pay for themselves, and even in one case didn't fully pay for itself. Regardless, a good counter skirmish with the Marauder Horsemen, and just sort of using the spawn for mass disruption while the Forsaken and the Chaos Warriors and everyone else come in, clean up tons of kills. 151 for the Demon Spew, despite how low we saw they were in the late game. At 106 kills, they had like 10% of their HP left, so managed to get still 50 more kills despite that. Very impressive. Very impressive kill totals with the Hounds as well. Just all around good stuff. For Kafka here, I would say in this build, I don't see the deck gunners really having a place. I think probably be better off to bring, I don't know, maybe something with a little bit more heavy presence. Maybe use the funds to upgrade Fleet Captain to have a Crab so that she's more tanky. And I would definitely, if you're running the Gunbat build, definitely want as many Gunnery Whites as you can, which with Harkon is only one, as long as you take a caster. I would definitely grab a Gunnery White on a Crab as well, of course, just to feed extra ammo to those Gunbats to help them pay for themselves. But yeah, Forsaken are still a unit that I consider pretty bad. But even at that, they are, I would maybe even also call them underrated, which is weird to say, you know, both things at the same time, but it's one of those things where even my own biases sometimes can keep me from fully utilizing a unit, and this is one unit that it has some use cases, has some upsides, definitely, like the high weapon strength, baseline immune to psychology. Just you got to be careful with them. Get them killed very, very easily. So hopefully you guys enjoyed watching this one. If you do like this sort of content, be sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. Every time I upload a new video, you'll be notified. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.